Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and a happy new year to all. For this year's first video, I decided to record a little cook with me, so join me in the kitchen as I make some white rice, beans, sweet plantains, and some stewed bistec. So let's get into it. So this is a cut of beef that I'll be using. This is bottom round thin steak, and I really like this cut of beef because compared to other cuts of steak, it's relatively affordable but still delicious. So I've already begun the marinating process of preparing my bistec. So all I did was add about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You can just eyeball it, give it a good generous drizzle. And then about 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. So the oil and the vinegar is like the base for a really good marinade. And the vinegar also helps to tenderize the steak. And then I also added just a little bit of adobo on each side of the steak. Not too much, just eyeball it. And now I'm going to add about half a packet of the Sazón, just like I did with the adobo. I'm only going to add a little bit on each side. I don't want my steak to be bright orange or bright red, so I'm just going to add a little bit. This is going to help enhance the flavor and just make it taste really good. And if you want to use homemade Sazón, I do have a video on my channel on how to make that. Just look up Mari's Cooking Homemade Sazón. And by the way, I always have all of the ingredients and their measurements in the description box below, so please check that out for reference. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I love using bottom round steak. I personally love it. I love the flavor, and I think it's perfect when you're creating bistec encebollado. But feel free to use any cut of steak that you prefer, just as long as it's nice and thin. For a thicker cut, I suggest using cube steak. Just keep in mind that it does take a little longer to tenderize when you're cooking it. So yeah. All right, it's looking good. Now I'm going to marinate this in the refrigerator overnight. If you are short on time, marinate it in the fridge for at least an hour because you want all those flavors to penetrate the meat, and you want to give the vinegar time to help tenderize the meat as well. All right, it is the next day and it is time to cook my bistec. So I have a large, deep pan here. I love this pan. I just love it. It's a ceramic pan. I don't remember the brand, but I know that my mom gifted it to me. But you can use a caldero or like a Dutch pot or anything that's nice and deep. So I'm going to go ahead and place my steaks. I had drizzled a little bit of olive oil onto the pan, and I have my heat set on high because I want to bring this to a simmer pretty quickly. And I'm just trying to, as best as I can, evenly place it on my pan. It doesn't matter if they overlap a little bit, that's okay. Because all we're going to do is we're going to braise the steak. So once I place all my steaks and I add water to the pan and the water comes to a simmer, I'm going to put the heat all the way low, completely low. And I'm just going to let that cook for as long as it needs to cook until it's nice and tender. For me, for this cut of beef, it took about an hour. And after an hour, I turned it off. And by the way, if during the cooking process at any point the water dries out, you can always add a little more water. It does not alter the taste or anything like that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, set it to low, put the lid, and work on the rest of my meal. All right, so it's been about an hour, and my steak is technically done. It's nice and tender, and it tastes incredible. This is the best bistec I've ever made. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a sliced onion. I'm using red onion. I'm not a fan of adding red onion to bistec encebollado because I don't like how it looks when it's cooked. But you can use any kind of onion that you like. All right, so now that I have my bistec going, I set it to the side and I'm going to go ahead and work on my beans. I have a bunch of videos on my channel, including a dedicated video on how I make red beans. And I swear that every video that has or that shows me making beans, I make them slightly different every single time. And I think that's what I love about making habichuela guisadas or stewed beans. It's very versatile. You know, like if you don't want to add meat, you don't have to. If you want to add something else the next time, you can. So basically this time, what I'm doing is I added a little bit of olive oil and about 2 tablespoons of some fresh homemade sofrito, followed by 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. And I have 2 videos on my channel on how to make sofrito. Gonna give everything a good stir. I have my heat set over medium. Just letting it simmer so that it becomes nice and fragrant. And then I'm gonna add 1 can of drained red beans. You can rinse the beans if you want. I just drain them. I don't rinse them because I like the starch that's inside the can. It helps to make the broth nice and thick. But if you don't like that, you can just rinse them in water. No big deal. Now I'm gonna add 1 packet of pretty much ham bouillon. Still not sure if I'm saying that right. It's just ham seasoning. And then I'm gonna add 1 packet of Sazón. If you notice, I have no meat for my beans this time because I didn't have any. But if you want, you can saute some chopped bacon or some smoked ham before you add your sofrito. So at the very beginning, you cook that up and then you add your sofrito and everything else, and it gives it amazing flavor. So then I'm gonna fill the can with water, pour it in the pot, and then I'm gonna use the back of my spoon and like smash a couple of the beans because this helps to release the starch in the beans and it helps to thicken up the broth. You can also add some chopped potatoes or some chopped pumpkin or calabaza. All right, so now that I have my beans and my bistec going, it is time to prepare my rice. So I have a medium caldero here. I drizzle a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. You can use any kind of oil you prefer. And then I'm gonna add some salt. That's about 1.5 teaspoons. Some may say, Mari, that is not 1.5 teaspoons, but trust me, it is. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill up my caldero with about 2.5 cups of water. I'll be using 2 cups of medium grain rice. So I like to add anywhere from 2.5 cups to 2 cups and 3/4 cup of water. You don't want to add too much water. I'm gonna go ahead and give my rice a really good wash. I love this Japanese rice strainer. It is awesome. It has holes on one side of the bowl so that you can use the other side to fill it up with water. And then with my hands, I just kind of shake it up. I'll like grab a fistful of rice and squeeze it. And the purpose of washing rice is to remove some of the starch. You don't need to remove it all until the water comes clear. You just want to remove most of it, because what I found is that when the rice is not washed, when you go to cook it, it doesn't become as fluffy. It's just like, I don't know, I can't really explain it. I feel like when you wash it really good and you cook the rice, it gets fluffier and it makes more rice, if that makes sense. But, so yeah, now my rice is good to go. All right, so my water is now at a simmer. I have the heat set to medium high. I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my rice. And yeah, so the water immediately stops simmering as soon as I pour my rice because there's a change in temperature. That is normal, that is okay. Again, I have my heat on medium high. I'm gonna give my rice a good stir and I'm gonna bring this to a boil and I'm gonna keep it on medium high until most of the water evaporates. And after 10 minutes, as you can see, most of my water has evaporated. I wasn't stirring my rice like crazy while it was simmering. You can, it doesn't really affect it in my experience. But now that most of the water has simmered, as you can see, there's like no pegao, which is like the rice that sticks to the bottom. I'm gonna give it a really good stir to make sure that the oil and the salt are well combined. I'm going to set my heat all the way low, put the lid on, and let it continue cooking for an additional 15 minutes until it is done. All right, so last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my plátano to make some plátanos maduro, or amarillos, or maduros, whatever you call it. So I have a nice ripe plantain. I'm gonna go ahead and chop the ends off, and then I'm going to make a shallow cut along the backside of the plantain. And I'm gonna go ahead and peel it like so. Since it is nice and ripe, it is very easy to peel, super satisfying. And then after I peel my plátano, I'm gonna go ahead and slice it up. Now you can slice it however you like, if you wanna do it very long ways or just cut it into like little even rounds. That is fine. You just wanna make sure that the plantain is not too thick or too thin when you are chopping it up. So I have a shallow pan here and I filled it up with a bit of vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, peanut oil, grapeseed oil, and even pure olive oil to fry plantains. I'm going to go ahead and just place it in the pan and fry them on both sides until they are nice and golden brown. All right, and just like that, our dinner is done. I decided to do something a little differently for the ending of this cook with me. Instead of just showing the already served plate, I was like, you know what, let me just, take a little, or record a little clip of me serving a plate. This is my husband's plate, by the way, and I feel like I need to say that so that no one's like, wow, Mari, que mucho arroz tú come. Which I can, okay? I can eat that much rice. But yeah, I always like to put my rice in the middle of the plate, in the very middle of the plate, kind of long ways, so that on one side I can put the beans and on the other side I can put the meat. And I promise to next time pan out the camera a little more so that you can see everything a little better. But anyway, yeah, this meal came out amazing. Like my son was like, this is the best bistec I've ever had. So really proud of myself. Look how good that looks. Yum. And after I serve the bistec, I always drizzle a little bit of like that broth, like that delicious marinade. And then I always put the plantains in the middle. And I'm really sad because today I didn't have any avocado slices to put on the side, but it still looks delicious and it tasted even better. And that is all for today's video. If you've watched this cook with me to the very end, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Also, do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated when new videos are released. And I'll see you guys next time.